Hey everyone, when Oakland Raiders owner Mark Davis appeared before the Southern Nevada Tourism and Investment Commission, the one formed by Nevada Governor Brian Sandoval, on the 28th of April, the same day as the NFL draft, he was treated as if he were Moses coming from the promised land to bring a football team, an NFL team, his team, the Oakland Raiders, to Las Vegas. By the time Mr. Davis was done with his speech, you would have thought the Raiders had already packed up and were about to leave Oakland to settle in Las Vegas, where they would get their stadium after 3 years. No one, save for one reporter, local reporter, bothered to pay attention to the agenda and the other item on the agenda, which dealt with the expansion, the long planned expansion of the Las Vegas Convention Center at a cost of $1.4 billion and 5 million square feet. 2 million of it refurbished, 3 million of it new. It was said then, if anyone bothered to look at the SNTIC website or any other related documents, that the May 26th meeting would be one where projects were prioritized. Well, after having that wording on the page for the May 26th meeting, that wording was changed. And now, today, in large letters, the page reads as follows: Convention Center, I'm looking at it, Convention Center Legislature Recommendation. The commission is going to recommend that the Nevada legislature take up and approve the passage of the expansion of the Las Vegas Convention Center. It is not going to recommend that the legislature even consider a stadium. And there are sound reasons for this. First of all, this is all brand new. It would seem, with an idea that was hatched last year late. The first visit by the Raiders was in January, and Mark Davis' first meeting with Governor Sandoval's commission was, as you know, April 28th. No analysis had been done prior to that, and only the Majestic Realty Corporation put together a proposal which called for $750 million of funds coming from the hotel tax, the same hotel tax, an increase that will be used to fund the expansion plans for the Las Vegas Convention Center. So which comes first? Well, the commission has already made it clear. The expansion. Stephen Hill has said that there is so much analysis to be done that he doesn't see anything. Stephen Hill is the Director of Economic Development for the state of Nevada. He doesn't see anything being done at all before July 31st. That's the deadline that's in place right now to answer a set of questions that will determine whether any level of public funding be used for Davis Stadium. Now, that deadline could be extended because there's so much work to be done. If you look at the page, it also says stadium proposal follow-up, and then stadium impacts on aviation evaluation process, stadium costs, and public contribution shares, both of which documents you can see in the blog post that is part of this video. Both are also damaging to the argument that Mark Davis is trying to make. In fact, think about it for a second. Of all the possible analysis that can be done, both are negative. First of all, the one regarding the aviation not only regurgitates the fact that the desired UNLV 42-acre site is next to a set of runways at McCarran International Airport in Las Vegas, but also says that a noise analysis has to be done, not just height considerations, and other considerations. There's 7 in all, including, for example, whether or not such use is appropriate to be so close to that runway, which is commonly used for the landing of wide-body jets, of which have served McLaren this year at a rate greater than any in the history of that airport. You're getting a little tied up in the details now. You're saying, oh, God, I'm getting dizzy. Exactly. There's a lot to this that has to be considered. You can't just walk into a city and say, I want to bring my NFL team there, and then do it. No. There are other priorities. Also, consider this. Mark Davis is partnered with Sheldon Adelson, who owns the Las Vegas Review, which has been pumping out information that makes it sound like the stadium has a better chance than it really does. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Also, consider this. Mark Davis basically walked into an enormous problem with his Oakland lease. The minutes of the April 28th speech he gave to the SNTIC in Las Vegas, Nevada, contain his idea that the Raiders would play in Oakland for the next 3 years and then move to Las Vegas. But there's a catch. And it's a catch that he didn't even think about. But it was the raison d'etre for the design of the Coliseum lease, the lease that he signed with the East Bay entities and the Coliseum Joint Powers Authority. People paying close attention to this story will remember that it was called a one-year lease, but really it was 1 year lease with extensions. Scott McKibben, the executive director of the Joint Powers Authority, told me some time ago those extensions were based on what he called warrants. And the warrants basically measured at what point along the way both parties were in establishing a plan and implementing that plan for a new stadium in Oakland, not Las Vegas. So here comes Mr. Davis saying, well, I'll play there. You're going to give me my extensions, but we all know it's going to be for the Las Vegas stadium and not for an Oakland stadium. That is a clear violation of a lease he signed. On top of that, he did not inform Oakland officials before he signed the lease of his Las Vegas intentions. They were never notified officially, where they would say, if this were a good faith relationship, Davis would say to them last year, I have an opportunity here in Las Vegas I want to check out. So let's set some dates between this point and that point, and after this point, and if the NFL does not grant me my desire to go to Los Angeles, I will then sign the lease, and then we will start working on a new stadium, but I want to check out this Las Vegas opportunity first. So between these dates, I'm going to be in Las Vegas, okay? And then the Oakland officials could respond in kind. But as it's written now, Davis invites the creation of a possible scenario where the East Bay entities say, you know what, you're going to have to find a place to play other than here, because we're not going to let you use us to build a stadium someplace else. Stay tuned, folks.